Hello and welcome to the Voice of TOD. I'm Tom, and with this video I thought we'd take a quick look at some more Netflix news. This just flashed up earlier today, and I thought this was quite interesting with the other moves that Netflix seems to be making in the animated realm. We're here on The Verge, link in the description as always, but let's just jump straight in. Netflix is getting Tomb Raider and Skull Island anime series. These were both announced last night, I believe. Netflix is working on yet another video game adaptation with a new Tomb Raider anime in the works. We don't know much about the series yet, but it will take place after the events of the recent trilogy reboot. I quite liked that version of Lara. Camilla Luddington was, I thought, a really good update to the model of Lara Croft and the voice. I thought that really worked. So if they're bringing her in and it's going to be a similar kind of idea and just continuing on her story, that's pretty cool. I quite like that. There is some more Tomb Raider news coming today that I found quite interesting. I get another little short bit, but that is a separate video. And there's more anime on the way as well, with a series based on Skull Island and set in the same universe as Legendary's recent Godzilla and King Kong movies. The latest Kong vs Godzilla is set to debut very soon, and the anime for the tagline for the anime is "A shipwrecked crew, an island of monsters, and one king to rule them all." Both Tomb Raider and Skull Island series are being produced by Legendary. I didn't know Legendary had the Tomb Raider stuff. So Legendary are really working hard with Netflix then. That's pretty cool. These announcements continue two trends for Netflix: a focus on anime and video game adaptations. The streaming service saw a huge success with The Witcher, which is based on the books but a franchise that grew in part due to video games, and will soon be expanding them with both a live action and anime spin-off. We've talked about that earlier in the week. Meanwhile, Netflix already has Castlevania animated series, and adaptations of both Splinter Cell and Assassin's Creed are in the works. There is no word yet on when either series is expected to debut on the streaming service, and that's the article. I'm not an anime guy. I don't know much about Eastern or Western anime. It's not really something that I want to get into. What I will say, this morning before I saw all this news, I started watching Blood of Zeus on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen it. It's not an art style that I initially fell in love with, but I watched the first 4 episodes. The pacing was great, the storytelling was great. I started to like the characters, and the art style really grew on me. There's a few things that bugged me, and that might just be because it's animated, and I'm not a lover of it at this point. But yeah, I'd be very interested in seeing these franchises that I love, things like Splinter Cell, things like Assassin's Creed, that have such great characters and such great stories. You can do a lot with them. The Tomb Raider anime, you would be free of the restrictions of live action, so you could go anywhere. It could just do whatever you wanted, as crazy as you wanted it. That's really cool. Skull Island, based on that tagline, sounds a little bit like the film. But, you know, I enjoyed the film. I don't know if I would watch it, but we'll see. I'd keep an eye out for news. But there is a little bit more to this, as you can probably see by my tabs. We're here on the Netflix NX Twitter account, and this is where the information dropped. So the announcement for Tomb Raider: the most iconic heroine in video games is jumping to animation. Tomb Raider is a new anime series from Legendary following Lara Croft after the events of the video game reboot trilogy. The one preceding that, or Skull Island, a shipwrecked crew, an island of monsters, and one king to rule them all. Lord of the Rings vibey, but okay. Skull Island, new anime series set in Legendary's Monsterverse from Powerhouse Animation. Powerhouse do quite a bit with Netflix. They have a long past, they've been around for 19 years. They have quite a connection to Netflix with Castlevania, which so many people have said is amazing. and it's something I might watch. But they're the people who did Blood of Zeus, which is why I mentioned it. They're also, outside of Skull Island, for Netflix, they're doing Masters of the Universe Revelation. That's the Kevin Smith Masters of the Universe cartoon continuation from, I think, the 80s. That's the He-Man that I grew up with, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So these guys have a great pedigree. So I expect that this will be very tight, very well done. And this is based on the Blood of Zeus. But I'm really looking forward to Masters of the Universe. It's probably going to be more adult focused, which is no bad thing when you're dealing with giant spiders that are skewering people with their legs and monsters and gruesome kills and all that stuff. I think this is pretty cool. I think this is very interesting, and I love that Netflix is continuing to expand its portfolio with celebrated and recognisable franchises as video games. Really good, really exciting, really looking forward to seeing more of this. As they've just been announced, I don't expect we will see anything for a while. Thank you very much for watching. As I say, there's a Tomb Raider video coming out later on today as well, so keep an eye out for that. And I will see you all next time.